Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of The African Origin of Civilization, Myth or Reality by Dr. Cheikh and Diop. And I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel Riley. This is the 29th reading. Peace. Oh man, I wish all is well with you. And had a wonderful meditation last night. Another one today. And yes, gotta go to work. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. After the workout, let's come in and read to the family and give them some peace so they can go into the rest of the day. Wanted to give a shout out as well to the great Tupac. His soul return just caught up to us, and we want to show love that June 16th. All right. We pick up at page 147 at the top, the 29th reading. Until the close of the Egyptian Empire, the kings of Nubia, Sudan, were to bear the same title as the Egyptian pharaoh, that of the Hawk of Nubia. Amon and Osiris were represented as coal black. Isis was a black goddess. Only a citizen, a national, in other words, a black, could have the privilege of serving the cult of the god Min. The priestess of Amon at Thebes, the Egyptian holy site par excellence, could not be other than a Mareotic Sudanese. These facts are basic, indestructible. In vain has the scholar's imagination sought to find for them an explanation compatible with the notion of a white Egyptian race. The god Cush had altars in Memphis, Thebes, Meroe, under the name of Khans, god of the sky to the Ethiopians, Hercules to the Egyptians. Pedrals, page 29. In Wolof, Khan means rainbow. It means to die in Ser. Khan being understood to mean dead in the other world, but not yet having attained to the divine condition. There is also a land named Khan on the Upper Nile. Accordingly, Nubia appears to be closely akin to Egypt and the rest of Black Africa. It seems to be the starting point of both civilizations, so we are not astonished today to find many civilizing features common to Nubia, whose kingdom lasted until the British occupation and the remainder of Black Africa. Right after the end of Egypto-Nubian antiquity, the empire of Ghana soared like a meteor from the mouth of the Niger to the Senegal River, circa the 3rd century AD. Viewed in this perspective, African history proceeded without interruption. The first Nubian dynasties were prolonged by the Egyptian dynasties until the occupation of Egypt by the Indo-Europeans, starting in the 5th century BCE. Nubia remained the sole source of culture and civilization until about the 6th century AD, and then Ghana seized the torch from the 6th century until 1240, when its capital was destroyed by Sundiata C.A.D. This heralded the launching of the Mandingo Empire, capital, Mali, of which Delafosse would write. Nevertheless, the little village of the Upper Niger was for several years the principal capital of the largest empire ever known in Black Africa, and one of the most important ever to exist in the universe. Next came the Empire of Gaul, the Empire of Yatenga, or Masi, it's still in existence, the kingdoms of Djolo and Caire in Senegal, destroyed by Fed Hader under Napoleon III. In listing this chronology, we have simply wanted to show that there was no interruption in African history. It is evident that if starting from Nubia and Egypt, we had followed a continental geographical direction, such as Nubia, Gulf of Benin, Nubia, Congo, Nubia, Mozambique, the course of African history would still have appeared to be uninterrupted. This is the perspective in which the African past should be viewed. So long as it is avoided, the most learned speculations will be headed for lamentable failure, for there are no fruitful speculations outside of reality. Inversely, Egyptology will stand on solid ground only when it unequivocally, officially recognizes its Negro African foundation. On the strength of the above facts and those which are to follow, we can affirm with assurance that so long as Egyptology avoids that Negro foundation, so long as it is content merely to flirt with it as if to prove its own honesty, so long will the stability of its foundations be comparable to that of a pyramid resting on its summit. At the end of those scholarly speculations, it will still be headed down but a blind alley. Peace, YouTube. Divine Rising. And happy Wednesday. Great meditation and wow, came through some powerful energy. What an amazing World Cup start as well, right? All right. So we're gliding through. We're in the seventh chapter, page 148, down in the middle. And I will put a brief vocabulary in the description so that you can read along and maybe look up some of the words and, resonate more with the information. And for those that are reading along with us, it's hard love. It smells so great. What could be more normal than to find the entire Egypto Nubian pantheon almost intact in Africa? Mhm. Pedros quotes Mori, who relates a Coptic tradition about two kings. One is unidentified, the second is King Shango, Lakuta, or Kevisio, or Cavaisio, depending on the dialect. This ruler worshipped all over the slave coast, Guinea, under these different names as the god of thunder and destruction, was, according to stories related by the blacks, a king of Kush, whence his surname Ababato Koso Shango. He passionately loved war and the hunt, and his conquest took him as far as Dahomey, the king's Biri or Biri, god of the darkness, and Ado Cohido, god of the rainbow, were his slaves. Peace. I is heart love. Thank you so much. Stop and smile. Divine days and rises. Wishing all is well on your side. We're down at the bottom of page 148 in this 29th reading of this book, The African Origin of Civilization, Myth or Reality, by Dr. Cheikh and Diop, edited and translated by Mercer Cook. Yeah, we're like splitting it almost down the middle now with this book reading. All right. As Moray puts it, the Ababa Koso was born at Ifi or Ifi, a locality with which our author is completely unacquainted, adorned with the title Firstborn of the Supreme God. He resulted from the incestuous love of Oregon or Oregon, god of the south, and Yamaja or Yamanda, mother of Oregon, herself a sister of Agandujo, god of space, Chango, Ababa, Koso, brothers are Dada, god of nature, and Ogun, god of hunters and blacksmiths. He has three wives, Oya, Oson, and Abba. It is quite evident that Oregon and Yamaja resemble the incestuous couple Amon, Kam, and Mot. Their son, moreover, has the surname King of Cush. It is also evident that Osun resembles Asun, wife of Tababum, Set Typhon, later wed by Hor, son of Mizraim Osiris, and that Dada resembles Dedan, son of Cush, in one version, and of Rima in another version, with an uncertainty that the Bible aggravates even more. Finally, the Ethiopians claim that Cush also had married three women, his sisters. Moray's testimony summarizes an essential bit of the traditions common to countries coasting on the Gulf of Benin, Togo, Dahomey, Nigeria, to the Iu, Gwen, Fawn, and Yoruba, the latter called the holy city Ife. Padrals, page 30 and 31. This testimony Maury had taken, as Padrals discovered, from a booklet translated from the Arabic and published in Paris in 1666. The tradition, it reveals, was noted by the Copts themselves, a fact all the more important because this tradition blends with that found today in West Africa among the population of Dahomey, Togo, Nigeria, etc. Shango and Oregon are gods of Nigeria and the whole Gulf of Benin in general. Ife, the city whose name Moray takes from the Coptic text without knowing that it is Nigeria's holy city, shows the close connection between Egyptian history and that of Black Africa. Oregon, god of the south, suggests the etymology of the Oregon, hurricane, a West Indian word, thus probably of African origin, suggests the Wolof Ayako, also meaning introduced into the Antilles by voodoo. Yakuru, god of destruction, suggests the Wolof Ayako, also meaning destruction. Note that the Mossy king is currently called Naba, which also the name of monarch who reigned over a part of Nubia. Padros, page 36. During the reign of Psammetichus, when the Egyptian army was mistreated, some 200,000 of them, led by their officers, went from the Isthmus of Suez to the Nubian Sudan to place themselves at the service of the king of Nubia. Herodotus reported that the Nubian ruler settled the entire army on lands that he farmed, and its elements were finally assimilated by the Nubian people. That happened at the time when Nubian civilization was already several millennia old. Consequently, we are amazed when historians try to use this fact to explain Nubian civilization. On the contrary, all the earliest scholars who studied Nubia, even those to whom we owe the discovery of Nubian archaeology, such as Caliod, conclude that Nubia had priority. Their studies indicate that Egyptian civilization descended from that of Nubia, in other words, Sudan. As Pedrols observes, Kaliod bases this argument on the fact that in Egypt all the objects were of worship, thus the essence of sacred tradition, are Nubian. Peace, YouTube. Oh, so welcome. Blessings to you. Thank you so much. Much love. Yeah, thank you for keeping the Mbongi clean as well. We're sitting here and we're just reached page 150 at the top. Here we go. Kaliod also assumes that the roots of Egyptian civilization were in Nubia, the Sudan, and that it gradually descended the valley of the Nile. In this, he was merely rediscovering or confirming to some extent the unanimous opinion of the ancients, philosophers, and writers who judged the anteriority of Nubia to be the obvious. Diodorus of Sicily reports that each year the statue of Amon, king of Thebes, was transported in the direction of Nubia for several days and then brought back as if to indicate that the god was returning from Nubia. Di- Diodorus also claims that Egyptian civilization came from Nubia, the center of which was Meroe. In fact, by following data provided by Diodorus and Herodotus on the site of that Sudanese capital, Kaliad, circa 1820, discovered the ruins of Meroe, 80 pyramids, several temples consecrated to Amon Ra, and so on. In addition, quoting Egyptian priest Herodotus, stated that of the 300 Egyptian pharaohs from Menes to the 17th dynasty, 18th, 18 rather than merely the three who correspond to the Ethiopian dynasty were of Sudanese origin. Yeah, let's drop a pin here. That's a very key fact. On days and nights, thank Moreau, Sudan, South Sudan. Yes, that's where these are from, these Alekes, South Sudan. And drop the pin here also because Most people only know of the pyramids that rest in that lower part of Egypt, where the Great Pyramid. But in Sudan and South Sudan, like he says, there's 80 pyramids. There's actually almost 200 plus in that area. And that's way more than there are pyramids anywhere else in the world. And they've all been ransacked, and, you know, got these people that are just savages and barbaric, couldn't understand it. So, they destroyed it and desecrated it. But yes, there are so many pyramids all over the world, when the majority are in Africa. Egyptians themselves, who should surely be better qualified than anyone to speak of their origin, recognize without ambiguity that their ancestors came from Nubia and the heart of Africa, the land of the Imam, or land of the ancestors, man equal ancestor in Wolof, the whole territory of Kush, south of Egypt, was called land of the gods by the Egyptians. Other facts, such as the tornadoes and torrential rains mentioned on the Pyramid of Unis, make one think of the tropics, i.e., the heart of Africa, as Amenalo observes. Significantly, excavations in the area of the ancient Ethiopia reveal documents worthy of the name only in Nubia proper, not in modern Ethiopia. In reality, it is in Nubia that we find pyramids similar to those in Egypt, underground temples, and Meroitic writing, not yet deciphered, but closely related to Egyptian writing. Strangely enough, though this point is not emphasized, Nubian writing is more evolved than Egyptian, while Egyptian writing, even in its hieratic and demotic phases, has never completely eliminated its hieroglyphic essence. Nubian writing is alphabetical, and we'll pause right here. Thank you so much for the likes and subs. Pushing more 700. This peaceful part of YouTube reading books. When we pick back up, we are on a pick back up on page 151 of the seventh chapter. All right. Yes. 29 is complete. We can go on the rest of our day and honor the ones around us, close to us, as well as including ourselves. Do some great things for ourselves, like get some work in, be kind to someone, help someone out, maybe meet a new friend, right? Yeah, there's always some great possibilities. That's why we keep looking up. Look up, you might just see a beautiful feather just float down. Pick it up, blow on it, make a wish. This peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. The African origin of civilization, myth or reality, by Dr. Cheikh Anta, translated and edited by Mercer Cook. Let's have a glass of love water, honor to our friends and family. all those that have elevated, and all those solar returns that we're celebrating. Highest heart, love, and honor. Thank you so much for the likes and subs. Peace. Much love to you. I love you. Mm. I love you. I love you. I love you. What a wonderful, wonderful batch of love water. And remember, the more we grab the momentum of staying in harmony, right? The more that we can attract that magnetic energy of what we are out searching for, what we're looking for, what it is that we want. The more you stay in harmony, the more things begin to align with you. And this includes being your true self. When you can be your true self, that's walking in alignment, in accordance with the universe and nature, in your nature, honoring the ones around us, honoring our environment is a great way to attract. So thankful and grateful for all I have now and all that is coming to me. Thank you. So thankful and grateful. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Ay, 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 ay. Love, love, love you. Ay, 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 ay. Love you, you. You know it. I love myself. Have a wonderful day and evening. Yes, I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are going to the light green cloud. All right. Going to the light green cloud this evening for restoration and healing modality. And we'll see you soon. Peace, peace.